We are approaching the final climax. Ha! Gross. I'm John Retham with my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 30 Night 16 event. B block action, point totals at the end of this review. And depending on the tiebreaker scenarios, how they work out, we could get Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. in all British final in the G1. Probably won't happen, but the idea is pretty damn nice. And yeah, it's kind of cool. There's a few people in each block that can actually win this thing. I believe there's only four in A block and then three in B block, but it's pretty goddamn nice. And everybody worked out the scenario. Somebody commented on one of my most recent G1 reviews, and thank you very much for that. I don't remember your username, but thank you very much. But Chris Charlton, Reason JP on Twitter, did work out the scenarios, and it is really cool how, Gato has managed to book this, even despite the fact he won't stop interfering and ruining Jay White matches. Not that much needs to happen to ruin a Jay White match. And the Bullet Club interference gets annoying. Gato's a pretty damn smart booker. So, Yugi Gamura and Yota Tsuji with some nice mat work and then good arm work by Yuya. But Yota managing to get the victory with the Boston Crab was really nice. But hitting that giant swing first and then getting the Boston Crab was a really cool way to get the finish there. Yoshihashi versus Kenta. Well, it was better than the match they had at that US show. Fucking Christ, that was ridiculous. Yoshihashi, not being taken seriously, would come back to bite Kenta in the ass as he would hit a full Nelson and a big old clothesline. And Kenta kept focusing on the shoulder, which would factor into the finish. But Yoshihashi had a good showing here, and at least they got people into it by the end. But the game over does tap out Yoshihashi, so yeah, not shocking that Kenta beat Yoshihashi. And then the briefcase, the U.S. Championship, title shot briefcase is like all damaged from it getting kicked into his face. That's a nice touch. They don't want to even put tape on the damn thing. Then we get Juice Robinson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Mix of styles, to say the least. Juice with some nice mat work. ZSJ is a joy to goddamn watch. Him doing the, Juice doing the, stomp, stomp, clap. That to fire up the crowd. Commentary getting into it is a really nice touch. But in the end, a series of reversals of pins, and then that bridge pin, that beautiful bridge pin by Zack Sabre Jr. gets the victory, and he stays alive in the B block. Then intermission to do the cleaning, and then we get Yano versus Tetsuya Naito. Usual antics, and turnbuckle pad usage. He tapes Yota to Naito. It looks like Naito's going to get counted out, but oh no. He gets untaped from Yota after a move, and then kicks Yota and slams him on Naito, or slams him on Yano. Naito slamming Yota on Naito would have been a challenge. I know Japan's weird. I don't think they could pull that off, though. But yeah, slamming him on the Yano, that was pretty funny. And then low blows for days, and then the jackknife pin 1, 2, 3. So Tetsuya Naito basically, almost controlling his own fate, despite the fact Evil beat him. He's in a lot better shape than he would have been had he lost to Yano. So then we get Evil with Dick Togo versus Goto. Togo and Goto, the Dick Warrior, if you will. I understand what they're trying to do, but they're not adding a whole lot of, interesting stuff to Evil. It just isn't working for me. We get an exposed turnbuckle spot. Dick trying for the choke, and Goto fighting them off. But eventually, everything is Evil 1, 2, 3. I know it sounds like I'm down on the Bullet Club antics in this, and I am, because it's all fucking repetitive. But that being said, this wasn't a bad match, it just wasn't a great match in my opinion. So then we get Tanahashi versus Sonata. Nice wrestling to start. Tana, doesn't really care if he has any working knees because he does a high fly flow to the outside. The Paradise Lock in the ropes earlier was actually a pretty nice touch by Sonata. When Sonata is motivated, he is goddamn amazing to watch in the ring. And Tanahashi can still wrestle really well. He's just obviously broken down, as anyone would be, rather, having carried the company on their back like this. Dragon screw in the ropes. Ouch, a lot of knee targeting because Tanahashi's like, you will feel my pain. And then we get a skull end. We get a clover leap, but to the ropes. So, everybody's kind of broken down. We get some reversals. Cutter off the ropes because Tanahashi's like, I'm going to hit a high fly flow to the middle of the ring. And Sonata's like, no. Boom. Just hits a cutter. But then he hits a moonsault eventually. 1, 2, 3. And Sonata gets the victory. See you next time. And Sonata actually is at 10 points. So here's the funniest thing. We have a few scenarios that could work out here. Now I'm going to go through the point totals first. Juice Robinson with 6. Yoshihashi with 2. Toru Yano with 6. Sonata with 10. Goto and Kenta with 8 each. Zack Sabre Jr. with 10. Evil with 12, Naito with 12, and Hiroshi Tanahashi with 6. So here's the idea. Basically, if Zack Sabre Jr. beat Evil earlier in the tournament, so if Sonata beats, I believe Sonata can win this damn thing if he beats Evil. But if Evil beats Sonata and Naito loses his match and Zack Sabre Jr. wins his, here's what can happen. Zack Sabre Jr. would hold the tiebreaker over Evil. So even though they would be, so yeah, if Evil lost his, yeah, so Sonata got there. It's really confusing actually now that I think about it. The more I think about it, I was like, God, these scenarios are confusing. I believe Zack Sabre Jr.'s got an outside chance to win it because he did beat Evil. But yeah, it's going to be pretty damn interesting to see what happens. But Evil's got to lose for Zack Sabre Jr. to be able to get that. Pretty damn good tournament so far. So let me know what you guys think of this. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.